All right, ask for a complete win, complete, game out of our players. I was happy with what we did out there today. I think it was a darn good win against a really talented football team. North Carolina State got a lot of respect for Dave Doran in the program. We obviously gave up some big plays on defense, but I couldn't be prouder of the effort of our coaching staff, of what we put on that field today. We had a starting middle linebacker today, Abe Ibrahim, who got it done inside, when the snap she was in. We had Kabir Baines playing outside linebacker today. We just found a way to get it done. We talked about blue vase, and you guys have heard about blue vase in the past. We had to find a way to get it done, and our kids played their tails off. Offensively, obviously, we're really explosive. Mason played at a high level, and that's how you win football games. Questions?
What does it say about this offense that they were able to bounce back from like a poor showing last week?
Yeah, I mean, that didn't shock me. It's kind of, I love to win when you play bad, and I knew that we play a heck of a game on offense. I didn't know what we'd get out of our defense today, but I didn't have any doubts our guys would bounce back. They obviously weren't happy. You think about all the penalties we had a week ago, the sacks, and again, probably versus a more talented football team, gave up 0 sacks, protected the quarterback, and gave Mason a chance to do what he did. The old block was alive today.
I mean, how creative did you have to get on defense? I mean, I think second play of the game, Kabir's coming in an outside linebacker.
Yeah, creative. I mean, it was a touch and go all week. We'll be in better shape this week coming, going into the Stanford game. So, it's where we were. Our kids found a way. It was no, oh, coach, we can't do it. It was like, coach, we'll get it done. And that's exactly what they did. And like I said, the staff did a heck of a job. Abe almost went out with a finger. I think he was in the training room the whole second half. I'm like, oh my gosh, we can't lose him. And so heck of a job by Lovelace. Again, we moved Lovelace from middle linebacker to outside linebacker. So it was a complete mess at linebacker, but we found a way to get it done. That's the biggest thing.
Hey, Coach, the big plays. There were a couple in the first half. I guess what changed that allowed you to bottle them up in the second half?
We bottled them up for the most part, and we gave up an inside zone. Again, I saw the iPad already. Fitzy gets reached. Cam Lindsey, hesitates in the box if he doesn't step in the me. And it's a young backer getting meaningful reps in a big game against a great tailback, and we let him split us, and that's you can't do it again. Tailback, I thought it was inside zone. I watched the videotape, but it was outside that. That guy went 3 steps and poof, pushed it vertical, and again we just didn't execute on that play. They had kind of an unbalanced shot where we were calling it out from the sideline, knowing it because number 12 was really deep in that set, and we thought it was going to be a double pass, and we were in cover 3. And our kids broke up on the bubbles because they were hitting us in bubbles earlier. They tried to take advantage of Kyle Lewis not being out there, with all those bubbles they were throwing early in the game. Kyle Lewis is out there. He prevents a lot of that because he's so big, fast, and physical. They took advantage of some things, but our guys managed to get it done.
Pat Mason was here a few minutes ago talking to us, not about all the stats he put up, but more so just things in plays that he felt like he and you guys left there on the field. Just how would you assess what you got out of Mason today?
Mason played great. And again, that's he's upset, and he's in the locker room upset that he missed some throws, missed that, and could have done this better. But that's kind of how he is. He's not worried about what he did well. He's worried about what he can fix. And you got to love that.
NC State was combined for 16, I think, on 3rd and 4th downs. What can you say about your defense stopping them on money downs?
Well, we put a whole new package in. We put in the Night Stalkers on 3rd down. Usually we go Delta, put in the Night Stalkers, a whole different personnel group because we didn't have. Usually we go out there with 3D linemen, and I don't know if you guys know the Delta Force, the Night Stalkers. It had some things to do with capturing Osama bin Laden. So our Night Stalkers went out there and got it done. But we went out there with 4D linemen, just 2 linebackers on 3rd down and 5 DBs. So that was kind of a different package that we had to make up, and we were scared to death of just guys executing the package the right way. But they did a pretty good job on money down.
Obviously, last week you said Dez was somewhat limited. Was he 100% today?
He practiced good last week. He was 100% going in today. Obviously not 100% coming out. That's the fear. So he said he's good afterwards. So we'll see how he is on Monday.
Coach, you mentioned Cameron Lindsey earlier. He got the start today. He had a forced fumble. Overall, how did you feel that he played?
He had a forced fumble. I think Shot Battle got on that. It was a heck of a play. He played good for as young as he is. I think Cam Lindsey played really good. I talked about the one run. He knows it. There was another one. He went in front of the receiver, trying to you don't go in front of the receiver with 2 hands. you hook and swat. Could have had a PBU, but instead it was a completed pass and a conversion on third down. So those are things that he'll learn from in his young career. But he's going to be a really good young player for us.
You had Caleb handling some kickoffs today. What went into that decision?
Caleb, Sam's leg has been exhausted, I think, and I think he kicked it already, kicked 2 out of bounds, putting that ball at the 35-yard line. So, he was much better in practice, but I think he got a good height on it, but he's going to drive that thing out of the end zone.
Lyndon brought the whole offensive line in here with him when he talked to us. What have you seen from him from the leadership standpoint as your offensive captain?
Yeah, I mean, Captain Cooper, right? He's an outstanding football player. It was personal for him. I don't know if you mentioned, he had pictures of him up in their locker room. They kind of put a target on him, and our kids made it personal that we were going to go out and get a victory for Lyndon Cooper.
Pat, why has the offense responded to Mason the way that it has?
I'm sorry?
Why have they responded to Mason the way that they have?
You know what? Because he makes plays, I guess. I mean, he's getting the ball out of his hand. I mean, he give up 0 sacks and throw it 40 sometimes. I mean, he just knows where to go with the ball. I can't say they respond any different. Just Mason's making plays, and guys are going to rally around those guys and make everybody look good.
Coach, earlier this week you called NC State the most talented team that's going to play so far this season. Did you see what you expected from them today?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Bailey's a heck of a player. I mean, C.J. Bailey, Hollywood's a great tailback, and we saw him take one to the house, and they're a good football team. But guess what? We got a better football team, and I think that's, the thing that everybody's got to realize.
Did you have any conversations with Deuce Spann about some of those kick return decisions?
Yes, we felt pretty comfortable with him taking it 4 yards out. So it wasn't that was by design. And sometimes you take chances. We were trying to turn Deuce loose, and we were trying to the kids were talking about free Deuce. So they called him Judy. He had one good one, right? I mean, I think he took one out to the 40, 35, 38-yard line, whatever. But sometimes you got to take a chance. And to me, we're going to be risky on special teams. You got to go make a play, and we trust Deuce to take one to the house. He'll take one to the house soon. Our special teams have been impressive. Go back to those 2 onside kicks. Those are never fun or easy, but our guys responded. Recovering those as well. Those are big time plays.
A couple more.
Coach, Kyrie and Boosie has really stepped up these past couple of games. I mean, 2 touchdowns today, led the team in rushing yards. What have you seen from him that has allowed him to kind of become this explosiveness?
He's a mature freshman. I mean, he's a true freshman going out there getting a lot of meaningful reps. So I mean, he's athletic. I mean, you guys see him. I mean, he's tough. He's physical. He had that one drop. Kate wanted to choke him out there. It was a first down, P10. Easy completion, probably another first down, but. He's just going to continue to get better. He's going to be special for Pitt.
There's wins and losses, X's and O's, and all that part of coaching. But when you talk about the guys rallying around Lyndon, right, or the way the defense kind of rallied together, is that an extra sort of something that makes what you do rewarding when it comes together like that?
No question. Like I said, it's a blue face finding a way to get it done. Doesn't matter how we get it done, just find a way to get it done. And that special teams find a way to win a different way. And again, our guys we got a lot of guys reps today that you wouldn't expect maybe on the field, and that just makes us better. Our guys believe, and I think that's the most important thing. If you have belief, that's all you need. Regardless of our guys trusted whoever's on the field, and our guys got it done.
Pat, could Kenny Johnson have finished the game if you would have beaten him, or is that more precaution?
A little bit of both. A little precaution, but at halftime he's like, Coach, if I feel better, can I go in? I'm like, hey, that's up to the trainers. But he wanted to go back in there, but I'm glad we weren't able, we didn't have to put him in there, I guess. But I don't know if he could have or not. So.
What can you say about how Kabir's played both safety and then stepping up and playing some star linebacker?
I mean, Kabir's a really good football player. I mean, that's the kid. I got a lot of respect for him. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's tough. He's a playmaker, even on some of those bubbles. This guy's taking a shot. He stemmed a big tight end, stuck him inside, and made a play. I mean, he's just a football player. He makes plays, and that's why we thought he could play that outside linebacker spot, and he certainly did. In 1 week, in 1 week's time, he was able to convert and and get the job done in our nickel package.
Were you surprised Smothers only got 8 carries?
mean, they got behind the sticks. I mean, they got behind the sticks. You know, I would have handed it off to them more, but you know, I'm not surprised at that 65-yard. I'm glad they didn't, but they were, you know, they got trust in Bailey and the receivers, and you know, they had to come from behind. And I think once we got up 17 in the second half, they threw more than they'd like to.
Good.
All right.